Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Gab.
So, you and I recently published the Retail Pandemic Playbook, which outlines some of the big themes we've seen emerge as a result of the crisis and offers recommendations for what brands and retailers can do right now to start playing offense instead of defense and set themselves up for success in this very, very altered environment.
And as part of that, we came up with five key success factors for post-COVID-19 retail and 10 specific action points that retailers can take right now to set themselves up for post-pandemic success. So we thought we'll talk you through what those 10 specific actions are and give some practical tips for making it happen.
So, the first of these key success factors is agility, and it's really all about being flexible. So the first action you can take is plan. It sounds very simple and easy, but upon closer inspection, sometimes you find that you really haven't planned, you haven't thought it through. And so you say, plan multiple scenarios. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a return to lockdown in Leicester in the UK, Melbourne in Australia, Lisbon in Portugal, Gütersloh in Germany, Catalonia in Spain, as well as a rollback of loosenings in Florida and elsewhere. And that's even before wave two's hit. So you should by now have in your top drawer or on your to-do list app on your iPhone, a list for each single outlet in your portfolio and every physical retail outlet you have, should you be forced to close it again, so that you have a very quick hit. Okay, what do we need to do? What inventory do we need to get out of there? Who do we need to call? And what's our plan? And then how will you contact your customers if you have to close again? And make sure that you collect email addresses. So right now, when you're back open, every single customer touch point needs to make sure it optimizes on collecting as many emails as possible, so that when you need to close, if you need to close, or even if there's an altering of service online, you can contact them. And that also is about if any of your staff members test positive. Growing your database is critical so you can keep your customer informed and keep them loyal if you do have to close again. And so there are also a variety of really free and cheap apps that you can use on a tablet, on a phone, to help collect those email addresses in a GDPR in a compliant way, such as MailChimp, GetResponse, Constant Contact in the States. And your store staff can use these to collect these emails, and it's non-intrusive as well. And finally, plan for when your stores are going to reopen again and how many might reopen, and understand that as you might have seen the modeling and how well your modeling has come true for this particular phase, to say, are they coming back at 30%, at 40%, or are they coming back at 70%? And understanding what your staff needs are going to be, and what cuts you need to make, whether they're temporary or even permanent. And not every store does need to reopen, as I'm sure lots of retailers out there have already come to the painful conclusion. And think ahead. Think about brands like Zara, who for a very long time have fulfilled their e-commerce orders from the store. And so you can turn your closed stores into micro fulfillment centers if you're not already managing on that model.
The next thing to do, as Gab already alluded to, is to hire smarter and pay more for agile staff. So first question is assess all of your team, top to bottom, as soon as possible. Who will be able to adapt to the new world of uncertainty, changed roles, unforeseen challenges? They are your key players, so award them a retention bonus. Make sure they stay. Reduce salaries and find efficiencies elsewhere. Yes, this is painful, but this crisis is a one-off opportunity to upgrade your teams. Secondly, identify what skills gap you have in critical areas, particularly in tech and digital. There is a lot of talent on the market right now, so make sure you fill the gaps now rather than adopting a wait-and-see approach. There are also recruiters who are working on reduced fees right now, so it makes sense to engage one or two of them to help with this. Those are the things you can do right now. Then the third one is, of course, take advantage of the government schemes to bring on apprentices. It takes time to train them, but it is a really good way to inject some new talent and some new perspectives on the business, identify good future hires. There are also a number of consulting networks, such as Altogether, Women in Hospitality, Move Me On, that offer pro bono advice at the moment to companies that are struggling with their COVID-19 crisis.
And Caroline and I are both members of Altogether, and it's an organization that gives pro bono advisory here in the UK, and it's been really fun to be a part of that.
We hope that you've enjoyed this little chat with us about what you can do to get your business through the pandemic crisis. You can download the Pandemic Playbook from LinkedIn, from either of our profiles. And if you would like to discuss any of this further, either Gabrielle or myself are very happy to follow up with anybody who would like to reach out for a chat and discuss this in more detail. Many thanks.